Again, I'm a voyeur, so I love it. I'll watch it.
It was definitely.
Sideshows that would come in and stuff. Do you still do those?
Yes.
Oh, and the butterflies, before you get on, you're waiting in line.
Certified free, 7 days a week.
Marilu,
Yes.
would you look at all these violators?
Oh my God.
And even the Merce sausage. We got Big Bacchus, Merce
Did you read
sausage,
the comments though?
John, Lady Botanist, and Bubbles all coming in.
Yeah,
We did start a little late though.
we did. Just a tad bit.
Although I think I think Bubbles was the first comment at 8:01 and 35 seconds.
Oh no.
And then Big Bacchus right after. So
Yeah.
I guess technically they're not all violators.
No. Oh,
What's up, Keith?
and there's Keith.
And Steven.
Oh, hello.
You guys are getting raw G today.
Raji.
Yeah. Marilu's wearing all black, I'm wearing all white. And I have not shaved today. I did shower though.
You did shower, but it is it's been a hot day.
Hey, Julie. I'm definitely going to need a shower after the show, though.
I hope so.
It's been a long, hot, sweaty day.
Oh my God.
But not for the good reasons.
Yeah, we went outside for a walk. We did a bunch of stuff, and then it's like, woo, hot, very hot.
Speaking of hot,
Mm-hmm.
this past weekend was pretty hot.
It was. Oh no, Bubbles is at work.
Bubbles is stuck at work. Me too.
Me three.
Yes, I'm stuck at work also.
Oh, how was the wave pool today? I'm curious. Was it crazy slammed or?
Did they go to the wave pool? Is that?
Yeah, that's what the Stephen is saying, that they were at the wave
today.
pool. So we'll have to try that.
I've often fantasized about having a pool for the club. But it is, alas, just a fantasy.
Yes.
That and the hot tub.
Yeah, we would have to. Ooh. Yeah. No, on the hot tub.
Steven says the pool was packed and fun.
But fun. So that's good. Oh my God, Bubbles. I know what that's like. I used to do these shifts where I purposely would work for 2 weeks straight so that I could then have 2 weeks off. And it's again, they are fantasies, Big Bacchus. We'd have to get a full-time pool boy to manage all the
yeah, that would be so terrible.
deviant behavior that would happen in a pool.
Speaking of pool boys, I'm just putting this out there again. Any service subs that want to come by and do housework and chores for Marilu and I, please reach out. Marilu and I spent half the day Sunday doing cleaning, and all I thought is, where the fuck is my service sub? I'm just saying.
I know you're just saying. I hear you.
Yeah, I know they're out there. And Big Bacchus says that he likes my fantasies. Are fantasies the same as role playing?
Well, I mean, when you're actually, yeah, yes, but when you're role playing, you're actually making them come true.
Ah,
Where a fantasy kind of stays there, and it's one of those that you kind of pull out for those special moments by yourself. Those
by yourself.
those self care,
Wait
self love
a minute.
moments.
Whoa, wait a minute.
I'm saying that for some people, fantasies stay fantasies. They
Oh,
only
and never act out the role play.
and never act out the role play. They just pull them out, when they're having a moment of self care, self love to reflect on.
Shouldn't they? No, let me rephrase that.
Watch what you're gonna say.
It sounded like what you were saying is that some fantasies are meant to remain fantasies.
Right. As Big Baka says, I thought all role playing was fantasy, but not all fantasy is role play. Because sometimes it's one of those things where you actually go ahead and play out the fantasy, and it's not as exciting as it was in your head, and it
Oh,
loses its
sure.
luster and blah blah blah, and then you just wasted a fantasy.
No, see, no. I think no, no.
No.
I'm gonna push back hard on that one.
Okay. Well, so when it doesn't pan out the way it was in your fantasy, is it still?
Okay, well, just like anything, literally anything. Bubble says it's like a lot of squares and rectangles.
Well, it's like when you're trying to put a square peg in a round hole. It may not always, you know.
Or an oversized strap on into a tiny hole.
There you go, Elizabeth. Yeah, sometimes fantasies
Okay.
are meant to stay
I mean, I
fantasies.
get that. I certainly get that. I think what I'm suggesting is if you have a specific fantasy that you want to play out or that you think you want to play out, I think it
Hmm.
would be a complete and utter disservice to do it only one time and base it on that first and only time that you've ever done that particular fantasy.
Okay, so but are you supposed to like make it like Happy Monday? Yes, by the way. Uh, if it doesn't work out the first time around, it kind of loses its shininess.
Yeah.
And then you really are taking a hammer to try and put that square peg in a round hole.
Okay, so if you were to have a fantasy fulfillment and let's just say it ended up being a terrible experience, then I can see, okay, you definitely don't want to go back to it.
Mhm.
Maybe you didn't like the sensation you thought that you would, or
Mhm.
maybe there's 100 reasons why you might not like it.
Yeah.
But to not do it again because it didn't turn out exactly the way the fantasy plays out in your head, I think would be a complete disservice.
Hmm.
It's like learning how to do anything, riding a bike, baking a cake, sucking a dick. Practice makes perfect.
There's a few things. Okay, I'll give you that.
I don't know, just kind of my generalized thought about that.
Okay.
I'm
So
curious. Then we were talking about hot things, and I said that this past weekend was pretty hot.
it was
There was quite a bit of excuse me, quite a bit of fantasy role play going on Friday night.
the Freaky Friday. Mm. Do tell.
Oh, what do you mean? Do tell? it's Freaky Friday. I mean, it's
Yeah,
that in and of itself is a fantasy fulfillment evening.
it is for quite a few people. Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely it's one of those nights where the dungeon gets a lot more use than on other
Mm-hmm.
say Friday and Saturday nights.
That is correct.
Yeah, Elizabeth's got it down. Yeah, it's like food. Maybe you didn't like it. Maybe you didn't like how it was prepared, and maybe
Mm-hmm.
you go to a different restaurant or somebody else makes it differently, and you're like, oh, well, I kind of like that version of it.
Well, I totally see that aspect of it. Yeah.
So, but
Hmm.
yeah, so lots of fantasy fulfillment
Mm,
on Friday at Freaky Friday, and then member appreciation was off the charts busy. Can't imagine why. I mean, just kind of a random night like that.
was everyone just looking for AC, air conditioning?
I mean, a lot of people spent some time outside on the deck.
They did. It did. You know what? It cooled down some bit enough for there to be a little bit of a breeze. So, I totally get why people are outside and enjoying the deck, the big deck.
They got to sit on my, they got to sit on my big deck.
Ah, oh, there you go.
Lady Botanist says that their arm needed a massage and some ice after the dungeon. Service sub definitely needed.
Yeah.
Yes, please spread the word. Service subs in need. I was joking. I was joking today at our meeting that we should put a thing on FetLife that we're looking for service subs to clean the rooms during events.
It's not, you know, yeah.
Yeah, they were. So I have a bit of a confession to make, though, about member appreciation.
Go ahead.
So, for this month, the club has been offering um, sort of a buy one, get one free offer with the 3-month membership. And so during the month of June, if you had purchased a 3-month membership, it would automatically convert to a 6-month membership.
Mm.
Well, I do this so that it does it automatically, and I do it through the ticketing. So typically on member appreciation, we offer 3 months free membership by attending. Whether you're already expired or you have a current membership, doesn't matter. We get that extension for free with your ticket. So what happened was they were using that ticket that I had doctored or altered to give 6 months to everybody. So basically, in a nutshell, everybody who attended this past Saturday for member appreciation not only got 3 months free, they got an additional 3 months on top of that. So they got 6 months for free.
Cool.
So congratulations. Everybody got 6 months instead of 3 months this weekend. So
Oh, Bubble says, I love the deck, but the mosquitoes attack the fuck out of my legs.
yeah, I think Mary Lou has that same issue when the mosquitoes are in full bloom.
Yes. I am allergic to mosquito bites. I get big welts when I get a mosquito bite. So yeah, I know the feeling. And then when the welts finally go away, it's just this big purple, reddish purple spot on my skin that takes a couple weeks to go away.
Mm.
Mm. So yeah, I'm very cognizant of the getting those Centinela candles back out on the deck.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah, we should probably do that.
Mm-hmm.
So we were talking about fantasy role play, and I'm curious if anybody watching would be completely opposed to sharing what their fantasy / role play type scenario would be. There's a lot of different styles out there. What do you have any role play type scenarios, Marilu, that
Um,
tickle your fancy, so to speak? Oh,
Actually, Bubbles, we do have some catnip plants in and some. Uh, uh, oh, there's a couple other things that are out there that are meant, the lavender, that are meant to repel mosquitoes and stuff too. But for some reason, it's just not working. Um, so you were saying role play. Wait. Well, I mean, you know me. I like to pull out a flogger every once in a while. Um, I had the lemongrass, and then the lemongrass all died on me. Don't know why, but but yeah, I have everything. We ate the basil. Oh, sorry. You know me. I like to, um, I did some flogging. I like flogging. I like some of that role play. You know.
hmm.
Um,
Who are you in that scenario? Who are you role playing?
oh, I'm definitely the Punisher.
The Punisher.
Yeah, not the punish.
Hmm.
Yes.
Like the Punisher, the comic book character Punisher.
I guess I don't know.
Oh,
I'm
Bubbles.
He-Man. Um, no, I mean I guess for me, the the issue with that, not I should say issue, but the thing with that role play aspect for me is, obviously if I'm doing it with a partner like with you, um, I'm very delicate. I'm not one for um, whatever what others would say would be their prizes. Uh, like the bruising, the blood to the surface aspect. I like giving welts. I like some of my rubber floggers that the tips are cut at an angle so that it just leaves a nice little welt. That's my thing. But if I were to truly put it at
I'll be right back. I'm going to go hide Mary Lou's floggers.
if it were me actually like playing out like a fantasy, it would be a little bit more extreme than what I do with people I play with. Um, so with that, there's just certain things you have to keep in check for when you are actually playing in the dungeon space. So where did he go? So okay, so Bubbles, you don't want to say what it is because you think we may not look at you the same way. Anybody else have any fantasies that they play out or would want to play out? I mean, I actually see quite a few things playing out in the club, especially with the bang box. That's another big one too. Hey Ricky, how are you? Oh, okay. So Big Bacchus likes to be loved, appreciated, and desired. Lady Botanist, we're talking fantasies and roleplay, so absolutely being a dom. That's me. Uh,
They
control,
are secured away.
control, topping, controlling every aspect of a scene from start to finish. Yeah, that's me. Very
What,
much so.
what is up, Ricky? Speaking of Ricky, since he's
Yes,
here, we will be seeing Ricky this weekend at buyout at the buyout ball.
yes, yes.
Ricky comes in this Thursday, actually.
Yeah.
Ricky's going to be hanging out on Friday.
That's going to be kind of a meet and greet for Ricky. And then Saturday, they will actually be spinning some tunes
Yes.
for us.
DJ Tricky Rick.
Yes. Yes. DJ Tricky Rick. Is it Tricky Rick or Tricky Ricky?
It's DJ Tricky Rick.
Okay.
Wait, you're right. Is it Ricky or Rick?
Yeah.
Now I gotta go look. Damn it. Doo-doo. I'm sure he's gonna. But I'm sure by the time I get there, he'll have Tricky Rick.
Tricky Rick. Okay.
Tricky Rick.
Cool. Cool, cool, cool.
We just call him Ricky.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
There we go.
Tricky.
So we were talking about role playing. Migote says they did some secret agent role playing, which I think is fucking hilarious because I've been working on a 007/MI6 event for fall. Bubble says that they can't admit to whatever the role play is because
Yes.
apparently they have some shame around that because this is a shame-free zone.
It is. It is.
And Lady Botna says, I heard you talking about it being completely in control.
Mm-hmm.
The Dom top.
Yep. Definitely. That's the thing.
Excuse me.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
I did want to get a little serious,
Okay.
if we could.
Yeah.
Did you say uh-oh?
No, I said okay. I was gonna say, don't forget that on Friday night for the Pink Pony Club, we have DJ Speaker Junkie. They will be in the house, so that should be fun too. Oh, okay.
Fair enough, Bubbles.
Yeah.
We've actually had quite a few conversations about CNC type scenes, and you know, those are some of my. I think I border on that type of scene also, but I think there's room for people to explore their fantasies and to see whether or not it is actually something they want to incorporate into their sexual play or whatever you want to call it. And so, yeah, I think that with the right partners and people, generally speaking, all things are possible.
That's true. True.
So, but speaking of that,
Okay.
the shop is a place where you can explore that, and we want people to have a wonderful time, just not at somebody else's expense. And so, I want to just reiterate for people some of the important aspects of attending the club and what your responsibilities are as a member. First and foremost, it's always ask before you touch. Always, in all ways. It doesn't matter. Back rubs, leg rubs, hugs, kisses, all of those things. Before you lay a finger on another human being that you don't have permission to do so, you must ask. If you get an enthusiastic yes, then by all means proceed. And I emphasize the enthusiastic part because we all read body language very, very well. And so when somebody is giving consent and when somebody is not. And if you're not getting an enthusiastic yes, then it's an absolute no. With that, we talked about this about a month or so ago, and I'm just going to reiterate, the club has an ask once policy. Now, what that means is you ask for the thing that you want once. If you get zero response, that is a no. You don't get to ask again. You don't get to ask a different way. You don't get to try to make them feel bad for saying no.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a no. And the club will bounce members for not honoring that policy. We want you to have a good time. Just don't fuck with other people. Marilu?
I'm just listening to what you're saying with the whole, ask once.
Intoxication, impairment.
Yes.
That's the other thing that we're really it's super important to understand that you cannot give proper consent if you are visibly impaired.
Mm-hmm.
If a staff member, another member can see that you have been drinking too much, you are incapable of saying yes to anything. So please be aware that if you're coming to the club to get plastered, you're going to end up having a terrible time.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's just not something that we go for. We understand that you might want a few drinks, need a few drinks, whatever, to relax, unwind, take the edge off. Totally get it. That's understandable. And we encourage people to come out of their shell. But if you need to be blitzed in order for that to happen, do it at home.
Mm-hmm.
So, and lastly, the most important is don't yuck on other people's yum. Just because it's not for you or something that you're into or interested in or even care to explore doesn't mean that it's okay for you to crap all over it. There are people out there that don't like what we do as it is, think that what we do is immoral or improper or terrible or whatever. So leave it be. We're all here doing our own thing, and so please honor that.
Mm-hmm.
If you can do those simple things here at the club, you are likely to be very successful at meeting new people and making new friends and having wonderful experiences.
Yeah.
Exactly, Big Bacchus. Alcohol is meant to complement the evening, not to be all about it.
Mm-hmm. So we actually had someone post a brand new couple that posted that they were here on Saturday and they had a great night. They're just still not sure, uh, how to say hi to people, how to maneuver that. It's their first night and uh, they've talked to people online, but they haven't had the opportunity to talk to anyone in person. And, you know, their question was, do we just don't look approachable?
Mm.
And it's like, that's not it whatsoever. I think for a lot of people, um, they forget that it's a two-way street. You know,
Mm-hmm.
um, coming into the space and not introducing other people, yourself to other people, does make you seem unapproachable. So the one thing that one of our longtime members has always told everyone when they're first coming in is, hey, make a rule of trying to meet three new couples or three new people. You know, um, it's sometimes the easiest thing to do because let's face it, people like to talk about themselves. And so when you're new and you walk in, it's like, hey, we're G and Marilu, we're totally new to the space, and um, you know, what can you guys tell us about your experiences? Have you been members for a long time? You know, just simple, basic question, and before you know it, you're in this 20-minute conversation with hopefully that couple, and or hopefully another couple has jumped in on the conversation. Oh, we've been members for a while, blah blah blah. And that's how you start talking to people. And as people see you approaching others, they are more apt to approach you as well.
That's very true. And Lady Botanist says it can be absolutely terrifying. I still have trouble walking up to people. There was a conversation this past weekend with a member, and we were talking specifically about that. And, like you were just saying, Mary Lou, when you're approaching somebody, just be honest with them.
Yeah.
And, Lady Botanist, in your case, you could literally just use the fact that you're absolutely terrified as your way to introduce yourself. Hi, I'm Lady Botanist, and I'm really terrified to come and introduce myself to you, but here I am. Would you like to have some conversation or get to know each other?
Right. Exactly.
And when you can lead with that honesty and a little bit of vulnerability, it allows people to understand that, you're there to connect. You're not there to take.
Right.
So, yeah. So just, I think Mary Lou's going to try and go find the floggers.
I'll be right back.
So Migote says, I always try to remember that we're all in the same boat. Everyone's first time is weird and awkward, and we've stuck around it so much that it's not scary. That's very true. And that's the other thing I like to tell people also is that I was going to say everybody, but I can't say that for certain. So I'm going to use my favorite 80-20 principle and say that 80% of people at the club at any given time are in their head about meeting new people, making the approach, discussing their wants, their desires, all of those things. They're worried about what they look like. Did they wear the right outfit? Did the makeup go on right? Did I brush my teeth? Like, all of those things are happening simultaneously in the same space by virtually everybody. So somebody's got to go first. And if it's you, and like Mary Lou said, make it a point of, introducing yourself to X number of people, 3, 5, 10, doesn't matter. But do so with the intention of just meeting and connecting with them. And then watch what happens. John says, if you find yourself making eye contact with someone a lot, try to go over and starting with that. Yeah, you can certainly say, hey, maybe I'm misreading signals here, but we've been kind of catching each other's gaze or, look or eyes. Would you be completely opposed to having some conversation? Getting to know each other. It sounds easy, and it is easy. You just have to do it. And I can honestly say for myself that when I've gotten out of my head and I've made the approach or I've engaged with people, some really wonderful, incredible things happen. And that's just coming from, the years of doing this. And I spent many years holding myself back. And, but you only have now. Bubble says, just the thought of doing that gives me anxiety-induced nausea. Yeah. Nobody likes being told no. It sucks being rejected. Especially when you make the approach, because clearly when you're making an approach, you're interested in that person for some reason. And if they say no, thank you, then that kind of hurts a little bit. But that's okay. And what I tell people and what I believe is that what is meant for you will be there for you. And if you stop worrying about all the no's you're going to get and get excited about the one yes that you're going to get that might turn out to be the absolute best experience of your life, then go through all those no's. Those no's have zero to do with you. Why would you want to be with somebody who doesn't want to be with you? Yes, John. Would you mind really does shine. Yes. And speaking of that, I'm actually I meant to put it up today and got sidetracked. I am gonna put up a Would You Mind class. Might even do it tomorrow night. I've got Mary Lou's. I'm gonna have the night to myself, so I think I'm going to maybe schedule a Would You Mind then for tomorrow night, and then I really, really would like to do it in person. So if anybody's interested in doing an in person Would You Mind workshop, even if you've taken it already and you'd like a little brush up or have discussion or run ideas, I'd really appreciate that. So let me know if maybe you're interested in this weekend. Oh, I can't this weekend. Ricky's going to be here. Oh, well. Big Baka says the no thank yous at the shop are the most polite no's one will find. I agree. And you should just be okay with a no thank you. Amigo Tay says, if someone brushes you off, you're destined to meet some other great folks. Absolutely true.
Mm-hmm.
Merely, we were talking about just sort of expanding on what you were talking about, making the approach and all that, and just saying, go through all of those no's so that you can get to that incredible yes. Ricky, you might as well take the workshop with me. Actually, Ricky sort of took the workshop in Jamaica when I did it.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of an impromptu one. Well, maybe I'll get this scheduled in. But yeah, maybe tomorrow night I'm gonna throw that up and see if anybody signs up for it.
Okay, cool.
So anyway, I want to go back through.
Yeah.
All right, Ricky. All right, so maybe I will schedule it. We'll schedule it for Saturday afternoon or something.
Yeah, because I won't be here Saturday afternoon either.
What?
Yeah, I have that photo shoot
Oh.
on Saturday.
Is it a nude photo shoot?
Yeah, it's
It's a naughty photo shoot, though.
it's one of the photo shoots that I signed on to do with my boudoir photographer to help them out. So I was picked as one of their ambassadors for the year, and I get to do all these little shoots here and there. So, yeah. So all I know is that I'm going to be in a field of, hopefully not corn, but in a field of tall grass, you know, which is, and they're wanting my hair to be curly and the whole shebang for that, like, female empowerment moment.
I like your hair when it's natural.
When it's the curl?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Talk about this. Mary Lou doesn't like her Puerto Rican curls.
Well, because for me, it gets to be hard to manage. So. Oh, I know. Bug spray, tick repellent. I'm already thinking like I don't need anything a la natural in my a la natural suit.
better wipe yourself down with some citronella or something.
I'm telling you, I like. I have all those little bug repellent rubber bands to put on my.
Ricky says he's going to go hang out with you during the photo shoot instead of the Would You Mind class.
There you go. It's me and
Ricky,
three other women. I don't know. It's supposed to be in the 90s over the weekend too, so I'm going to be definitely sweating some balls, I think. Or something. But yeah, it's going to be fun. They're always a fun to do. The photo shoots and stuff. So. That might be too much big pocket. Exactly, Elizabeth. There definitely are some places that I don't want bit. You know.
I will BRB again.
Okay. So I had someone who's actually like who's watching who hasn't chimed in for the show, but they just sent me a little message on Messenger laughing out loud about not wanting me to get my bits bit. So I'm like, oh, so thank you. Um, I don't know what tonight's been one of those. You know, actually, someone just asked a question on another platform about what what is one of the most important things a single male should know about coming into the lifestyle, and that one's like a lot. um, First and foremost, obviously respecting the space that you're in, the other members, the people. Um, Another thing is definitely read up on the consent policies for the club or the space that you're going into, and just basically follow day-to-day consent. Like you would just not walk up to somebody that you don't know and touch them or without asking. No, that's a big thing. We literally just talked about it earlier. So yeah, I would suggest your friend actually watch the video of the show later, because everything that we talked about goes pretty much for everybody within the space. If it's not an enthusiastic yes, it's a no. You know, yeah, exactly, John. A no answer after one or two responses still means no. So, but the word no is a complete sentence. That is correct. And I think too, a lot of people kind of get in their heads about being in the space, and they think it's about what they see on TV and all the TV shows and the movies, and like they walk in and everyone's in the middle of an orgy and so forth, and it's like, okay, that can happen, but it's not something that you're going to see all the time. And never set expectations for coming into the space. When you have too many expectations, you kind of like, just like we were talking about fantasies. If it doesn't come to fruition, you're kind of like, you know. So it's just one of those things. So I'm guessing that you took the floggers back.
Something. Like that.
Yeah, I know you. I know. So.
I heard when I walked up, you were talking about expectations.
Yeah. Well, actually, someone on another platform actually chimed in and asked, what should a single uh, expect, or what should a single do about coming to a club for the first time as a single male. So we were just kind of.
Listen, if it were possible to arrange, we actually have a friend, and Ricky knows who we're talking about, who literally attempted to put together the world's largest gangbang, right? Or orgy.
Largest orgy.
The world's largest orgy. And
Mm-hmm.
we talked about this on another live stream, but basically, in a nutshell, it got shut down. Um, but I will tell you, more times than not, I have heard people talk about trying to put together things like gangbangs and orgies or whatever, and almost nobody shows up.
Yeah.
Everybody chickens out.
Everyone's like, "What? You want us to do what?"
I'm not gonna lie, I think I would be a little overwhelmed in an actual orgy.
Well, I mean, this. Okay, I'm sorry. This is the way I kind of look at it. For me personally,
Mm-hmm.
it's like a big jigsaw puzzle, and I need to know where all the pieces and parts go. beforehand.
Is 3 people considered an orgy? I think we talked about this before. I can't remember what we landed on. Like, at what point what number does it become an orgy? Marilu's going to look it up.
I'm gonna ask Chad.
Can we
What number?
ask the audience
Yes.
how many can 3 be considered an orgy? And what does ChatGPT know? The ChatGPT has never had an orgy in its entire life. Elizabeth says 5.
Okay, so ChatGPT says there's no universally agreed upon number, but generally, 3 people is merely a threesome. 4 people equals a foursome or just group sex. 5+ people is generally considered an orgy. And then he goes on to say, in most social or sex positive community contexts, 5 or more people actively engaging in sexual activity together is the common threshold for something being called an orgy. Some people might start using the word at 4, especially if it's a free for all vibe rather than just a paired off or sequential coupling.
Yeah, I think that like 4 in the context of like traditional swinging, that's just swinging.
Right. But wait a minute. Chad has more to say about this.
Oh, yes. Do tell, Chad.
No. The key isn't just the number, but simultaneous sexual interaction among the multiple people. Typically with a sense of communal agreement and consent, rather than separate encounters happening in the same space.
So it's more like your Caligula type thing where everyone's just kind of writhing around and groping and grabbing and humping and sucking and.
Okay. Yeah, I guess. I mean, currently Chad is asking me if I want to know how people define group sex versus an orgy, or how orgies are hosted, or what makes an orgy etiquette. So don't tell me that Chad has not learned a few things of this world.
Chad knows not what the experience of having an orgy is like.
They do not. They do not. Chad does not. But I think enough people have been asking Chad questions that he's kind of like, exactly. Or an orgy does not equal parallel play.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just giving you the wisdom of Chad, the AI guy.
Well, by that definition, I can honestly say,
yes,
I have yet to be involved in an actual orgy.
Okay, Bubbles. So we call ChatGPT Chad. So I think Chad or G has been asking Chad so many questions that Chad just is like,
yeah, listen,
girl, this is annoying.
Me and Chad are like this.
They have a bromance going on, huh?
No, we do not have a bromance going on. It's strictly business, Chad and I. Yeah.
Well, he wants to
write.
write.
I'll move over to Grok if I want to get more personal and naughty. Grok and I have a lot more in common.
Well, he wants to write me an orgy etiquette guide. So I'm like, hey, whatever.
Orgy etiquette.
Yeah. So we were talking about, yeah. You call mine Ro. So I guess people do have nicknames for their AI, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
What about you, Marilu? You didn't chime in on the whole orgy thing. Have you been involved in a 5+ person simultaneous sexual situation?
Yes, I have. It did not last very long, though.
That's what she said.
Uh-huh. Yeah, this was an experience that I had in my early years that um, the discussion was had about having an orgy and having people over and blah blah blah. But no one ever talked about consent, and uh, nor was there discussion as explicit permission that everyone was to engage with everyone.
Mm.
And there was, of all things, one person that I was not okay with them engaging. And, I was busy taking care of other things, uh, other people. And I just so happened to look back as someone had grabbed my hips, and it was not the person I thought, and it was the person that I did not want to engage with. And so the scene turned very sour very fast.
Mm.
Yeah.
So Bubbles says, so first of all, Big Bacchus, half of all bromances end in divorce.
Uh-huh.
Bubbles says that they've been in 3 5+ person orgies in their life, and 2 of them over the past 6 months. They dig it.
Yeah.
And then Migote is making the wild and outrageous claim that Chad and I are in a full blown lovers, Julio and Roman, we're a full blown lovers, the Romeo and Juliet of the digital age.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
First of all, I don't
Ah.
think their name would be Chad.
Oh, you don't. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. So you have a name preference?
I didn't say the name preference. I just don't. I'm pretty sure I would not have named my bromance partner Chad.
What would you have named?
Do you mind if I give that some thought first before I answer?
Oh, okay. Go ahead. Give it some thought. You know,
Uh,
I'll let you think about that one.
I don't know, Mary Lou. Are my endings less depressing than Romeo and Juliet?
Well, I think they're talking specifically about your bromance.
Well,
Uh,
so far it's wonderful. I don't think anybody will be committing Harry Carey over that or suicide. So nobody will be unaliving themselves over that.
yeah. There you go.
So Julie says that the only one that they were ever involved, it was an all-girl orgy at the Flow.
We had a party last fall
Mm.
in which one of the rooms was taken over for a girl on girl.
Mm.
So yeah.
I've often wondered.
Yes.
Not often. I've wondered. Since Julie said about an all-girl orgy. Of course, I was going to make the joke. Of course, I would want that too. But I wonder what an all-guy orgy would be like. That would be a Club Pittsburgh on a Saturday night.
We've seen that during buyout events.
Definitely so. In fact, at Glow. Okay, got it, Julie.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually a lot of, we go to Hedonism in Jamaica for bye week, which Ricky hosts. And the playroom there certainly gets a lot of orgy type action. Bubble says an all guy orgy would be hot as fuck.
Yes.
Mm.
It is. It definitely is. I have at times walked into that playroom and been like, whoa, okay. And unfortunately, I am working, so I'm kind of like, I make my way through. make my way back.
You know, there's a small part of me that secretly, quietly hopes that we have enough staff this weekend that I don't have to work.
Oh, I'll let the oh,
Yeah, will you check the schedule to see if I'm
I'll let
scheduled for anything?
you're not scheduled for anything specifically.
They never schedule me for anything.
No, they don't. Exactly, Bacchus. I walk through. I take notice of who's where and what, and you know,
Is that kind of one of
detail.
those things? If an orgy happens in the woods and nobody sees it, did it really happen?
Hey, you got to have at least one scream.
Scream?
Well, sometimes
Scream?
some of the in the or orgasmic,
Oh, okay.
you know. Exactly, Ricky. There is a lot going on in the Kama Sutra room. So it's just kind of like.
I'm wondering if Ricky's going to get a Kama Sutra type room play situation going this weekend or on Friday for the Pink Pony Club.
The Pink Pony Club. That'll be interesting.
What do you think, Ricky? What do you think, Marilu?
I think if Ricky's here, it's going to happen.
We shall see, right?
Yeah.
In one of the boxes, huh?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Or you'll be walking around with the portable glory hole all night in front of you.
We do have the portable glory hole. We should set that up.
We do.
Ricky's cautiously optimistic. Maybe let's do it.
Yes. So we have. Dun, dun, dun.
Well, I do want to talk about this weekend coming
Yes.
up. I know you do have the two events coming up.
Mhm.
So Friday it's buyout weekend.
Right.
Is our way of sort of closing out Pride Month, June Pride Month here at the club. Ricky's going to be coming up from Florida to be a part of this and help host an MC on Saturday night. But it's Pink Pony Club on Friday.
Yes.
And Vive Healthcare will be at the club to provide information about prep startups.
Yes.
The company TacoEggplantPeach.com will also be in the house. They do at-home testing. So both of them are going to be here on Friday for the members. I think TEP is bringing some test kits with them also.
Cool.
So people can actually take them home. We talked about them before. They're the ones that have the little thing that goes on your arm to take the sample instead of having to prick your finger or draw blood or whatever. So, and then this Saturday, even though we did not have central outreach at the club this past Friday for Freaky Friday, they are going to be at the club this Saturday doing testing.
Right.
So, for those of you that missed them this month, they are going to be here on this Saturday.
Right.
And the entire event is and has been sponsored by Vive Healthcare. So, big shout out to Vive for their sex education community outreach.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think it's awesome too that Central was able to fit us into their schedule because Pride Month for them is the craziest. They're all over the state. Of PA. And Ohio. They did the Ohio, the Cleveland Pride, and the Columbus Pride as well. So they have definitely been busy this month. And yeah.
So it was nice for them to be able to work it out to come to the club this weekend. Some of you may have noticed this past weekend the Central bus parked out back
Yeah.
That's for a very specific reason. The towing company has been moved out of the back parking lot into the upper lot. So over the coming weeks, probably a month or so, we're going to be filling in that back area to make it more usable for parking. So there will be more additional on-site parking available here soon.
Mm-hmm.
You're welcome to park in there now. It's just a little, when it's rainy, it can be a little muddy and stuff. So
Yeah.
just letting people know that's now available.
Correct. Yeah. Which is awesome.
Yes. So
A little extra area in the parking lot for everyone.
yes. Was there anything else you wanted to talk about tonight before we start signing off?
Don't forget, we do have, of course, as G noted, the buyout weekend. But don't forget about next Wednesday. We have karaoke on Wednesday night. As we will be closed on Friday and Saturday to let the staff have a 4th of July weekend off.
And I think we're going to be making an announcement about Friday, July 4th also tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I'll look for that. We'll have something special. We have something special planned for July 4th.
Right.
And no, it's not me getting naked.
But you might find him in an apron.
Maybe. We'll see. For those of you who are watching for the first time and are interested in checking out the shop in Pittsburgh, you can visit bodyshoppittsburgh.com. Good night, Ricky.
Night, Ricky.
Click the Apply Now button, fill out your application, watch your consent video, do your age verification, and then one of our lovely team members will review your application and hopefully approve you. If not, they may ask for additional information. If you're not quite ready for the club experience, but you're interested in ethical non-monogamy or kink or polyamory, or just have questions about sexuality in general, you can visit MaryLouandYou.com. Book an appointment with a board-certified sexologist who does also happen to be my lovely and beautiful wife sitting on top of me. Are you still doing the free intros for new members?
I am.
Seems like you've been pretty busy with that.
Yeah, those are always, they're always fun because they're either new to the lifestyle altogether and new to the club, or they're just new to the club. So it's always fun getting to have like a quick intro with them and be able to answer any questions that they have about the space. So
yeah, if you're new to the club, if you've recently joined and you're not quite sure how to navigate things, or you have questions, or just want to share your thoughts, book an appointment with Mary Lou. It is free for new members.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, cool. We're really pumped about this weekend. I'm excited. The numbers are looking really good. We had such a great weekend last weekend. We're going to be following up with a fun weekend this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So, if we don't see you this Friday or Saturday, we will be back here next Monday at 8:05 Eastern Standard Time.
Yes.
And then, as Mary Lou, oh,
Ronnie.
Gotcha, Ronnie. We'll give you a holler right after the show here, buddy.
Yes.
Been thinking about you. I think that's it.
I think that is.
Well,
okay.
Sorry, that threw me off there. Yeah, have a good night. We'll see you hopefully this weekend. If not, we'll see you next Monday or next Wednesday for karaoke. That's what I was getting ready to say.
Yes.
Right. You guys have a good night. Take care.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
freak, 7 days a week. That wet ass pussy good, my pull-out game weak. Ooh, yeah. I'm fucking with that wet ass, swimming in it, baby. I'ma bring a bucket and a mop, darling. Give you everything I got, I'm falling. Yeah. I'm fucking with that wet ass, pussy. Beat it up, catch a charge, extra large and extra hard. Put your pussy in my face, sweep my nose like a credit card. I'm on top, you wanna ride, do a giggle while listen to spit in your mouth, girl, while you looking in my eyes. Your pussy is wet, I'ma take a dive, I'ma tie you up like you're a prize. Let's role play, I'll wear disguise, I'ma park my Mac truck and you can ride. Yeah. I'm fucking with that wet ass, swimming in it, baby. Yeah. I'm fucking with that wet ass, pussy. Gobble me, swallow me, drip it down inside of me. I gotta jump out before it gets inside of you. Tell me where to put it, but don't tell what you about to do. Talk your shit, baby, bite your lip, girl. Ask for a car while you riding that dick. Oh, I'm on top, you wanna ride, do a giggle while it's inside. Spit in your mouth, girl, while you're looking in my eyes. Your pussy is wet, I'ma take a dive, I'ma tie you up like you're a prize. Let's role play, I'll wear disguise, I'ma park my Mac truck